Draco, you're not a killer.
How do you know what I am? I've done things that would shock you.
Years ago, I met a boy who made all the wrong choices. Please let me help you.
I don't want your help! Don't you understand? I have to do this!
The boy who had no choice. Is that really so? Or is this just another attempt to romanticize villains? Because we all have a choice, don't we? Some people, even when everything pushes them toward the abyss, still find the strength to choose another path. A path that challenges their circumstances, environment, and history. Let's explore Draco Malfoy's perspective to understand what shaped this character and what led him to choose the dark side. To see Draco as more than a villain or victim, but as a reflection of our humanity. The conflict between being who we are and who the world forces us to be.
Some wizarding families are better than others, Potter. You don't want the wrong friends. I can help you with that.
Draco Malfoy is one of the main antagonists in the Harry Potter saga. On the surface, he's the arrogant boy, Harry's main rival at school.
Training for ballet, Potter?
The one always eager to provoke, humiliate, and act superior. Well,
Look who's here, buying your dream house. Isn't it a bit big for you, Weasley? Because your family shares one room.
Malfoy and Harry have studied together at Hogwarts since their first year, but despite growing up together, they live in entirely different worlds. Harry has almost no family. Raised by cruel, neglectful Muggle relatives, he's famous in the wizarding world. A symbol of hope for surviving Lord Voldemort as a baby.
Harry Potter can't even visit a bookstore without making the front page.
Draco, on the other hand, is the heir to an old and wealthy lineage known as purebloods. That means his family is made up of 100% wizards. Maintaining a lineage considered noble in this world, something that his family and Draco himself constantly like to brag about.
My father can pay for the best. You filthy little mudblood.
Your father, Lucius Malfoy, is a Death Eater. That is, one of Voldemort's followers. A group made up mainly of radical pureblood supremacist witches and wizards who practice the dark arts. Since the first movies, we see Lucius as a central, influential figure in his son's life.
Don't touch anything, Draco.
Yes, father.
But despite this influence over his son, when he appears within the circle of Death Eaters, Lucius is known as a coward, a sycophant of the Dark Lord, someone completely submissive, a man who bows before more powerful figures. Look at me. But outside that circle, he acts completely different, presenting himself as if he's superior to others.
Calm down, Draco. Be gentle.
An arrogant attitude and a sense of superiority that are clearly reflected in the values he passes on to his son.
Let me see. Red hair, empty expressions, second-hand books. You must be the Weasleys.
Red hair, hand-me-down robes. You must be a Weasley.
Draco was raised to believe his family was superior and that he must be stronger, more cunning, and crueler than others. He demonstrates this through his actions from a young age.
Daddy and I are in the minister's box by personal invitation from Cornelius Fudge.
Don't brag, Draco. It's a waste of time with these people.
Draco is a character who talks a lot and does little. He's almost a perfect shadow of his father, the kind of dog that barks but doesn't bite. But Draco's story really starts to change in the 6th movie when it takes an even darker turn, making him a key piece for Lord Voldemort. He is chosen to kill Dumbledore, not because his leader trusts Draco, but as a punishment for his father's incompetence, who failed a previous mission and is now imprisoned, unable to redeem himself. And so Draco is summoned, which is more of a sentence than an opportunity. He receives the dark mark on his arm and officially becomes a Death Eater.
I was the chosen one.
But even though he bragged about it to some people and even acted with a sense of superiority, this isn't a real choice, but something forced by his environment that he can't escape, as even his mother admits. She knows that Draco is just a boy crushed by the weight of the expectations that his family and Voldemort have placed on him.
He's just a boy.
Draco never wanted this. He was forced into a war far bigger than himself. A boy with his own insecurities and limitations, forced to take on a role he didn't even know if he wanted. And when we bring this point of view, this more victimized side of the situation, some important questions arise. Does the environment turn a person into something they're not? Or does it simply reveal what the person already carries in their essence? Think about it. Does evil come from environment and circumstances, or is it something people are born with? And to be more specific, in the case of Draco Malfoy, is he really evil, or are we just seeing the product of a boy who never had a choice? Notice how these questions transcend Draco's context. They go much further. They invite us to look at ourselves and at the world around us. When we analyze such questions, something far more complex emerges. Now, going back, when we talk about Draco Malfoy, we have an almost perfect example of what I classify as a predominantly passive personality. He is a living illustration of how submission to circumstances can define who we are, or perhaps even more unsettling, who we fail to become. But what I want to say briefly is that Draco is not a creator. He is not a transformer. He doesn't break the chains of his environment. He doesn't reshape his reality. He is someone who submits to the conditions around him. He directly reflects the arrogant, fearful, and prejudiced world he was born into. He doesn't choose evil, because for him, evil isn't a choice. It's simply the path paved in front of him by the environment he was born into. The question remains, if Draco grew up in a completely different environment, would he be a different person? Could the boy raised amid pressure, dominance, and fear have grown into someone kind and selfless? That's a reflection worth having, and not just in this fictional scenario. Think about yourself and the people around you. Are we truly free, or just products of the environment we live in, like pieces in a game we don't control? When we look at Draco, it's clear that he doesn't act purely out of malice, but out of fear. He doesn't fit into the role that was imposed on him. Perhaps at his core, he was never what they expected. Because what Draco shows is something I see in many people, a defense mechanism. His passive manner, his blind obedience to expectations, is less about choice and more about survival. He obeys orders and commits evil because it's expected of him. Yet in critical moments under peak pressure, he hesitates and holds back, revealing something different in those lapses. A spirit trying to break free from the mask imposed by his environment. To better illustrate this issue, I selected 3 moments in the saga that help us understand how the weight of expectations and the imposition of a role can suffocate someone's essence, but never completely erase it. Draco's first key moment is when he fails Voldemort's mission to kill Dumbledore. He faces the headmaster of Hogwarts, but this time, he isn't the arrogant boy who usually humiliates others there. He is vulnerable, terrified, his hands are shaking, his words reveal fragility. He tries to justify his actions.
Don't you understand? I have to do this! I have to kill him! Or else he'll kill me.
And the pressure just keeps building. He's under the watchful eyes of Death Eaters, under Voldemort's shadow, but also under the weight of his own conscience. When the time comes to cast the killing spell, he can't do it.
No.
This failure reveals the heavy expectations he faces, his vulnerabilities, and the limits of his nature. Draco is passive, but this keeps him from crossing certain lines. He can't make definitive decisions, even under pressure. When Snape takes responsibility and kills Dumbledore, Draco doesn't protest. He steps back, crying, visibly shaken and scared. His expression reveals fear, helplessness, and guilt over failing to shape the world as he wished. This scene crystallizes his passive nature. Draco gives in to the pressures around him. He doesn't take control of his own actions. The second moment happens in the penultimate movie, when Harry, Hermione, and Ron are captured by the Death Eaters and taken to the Malfoy mansion. Harry's face is disfigured by a spell, making his identity uncertain. Draco is called to identify whether that is really Harry Potter. Here, Draco again has a chance to redeem himself before Voldemort and secure the Malfoy family's safety.
If we are the ones who deliver Potter to the Dark Lord, everything will be forgiven. Everything will go back to normal, do you understand?
But he hesitates. He looks at Harry, realizes who he is, but doesn't confirm it. He pretends not to know.
I'm not sure.
Draco, look closer.
This is a subtle yet powerful moment. Draco's omission is an act of resistance, even if silent. He's not brave enough to openly challenge Voldemort, but he also can't condemn Harry to death. This act again proves Draco isn't truly evil. His passivity keeps him from being a hero against injustice, but also shields him from total darkness. He can't define himself and chooses neutrality, a middle ground that, at that moment, saves Harry's life.
Why didn't you tell her? You knew it was me, but you didn't say anything.
The last moment occurs in the final battle at Hogwarts, clearly showing Draco's inner conflict. On one side are Hogwarts defenders, on the other, the Death Eaters, his parents' side. Voldemort, trying to humiliate and demoralize Hogwarts defenders, invites them to join him.
And now is the time to declare yourselves. Come forward and join us.
At that moment, Draco stands with his Hogwarts classmates and childhood friends, hesitating to join the Death Eaters. His father, Lucius, insists.
Draco.
But Draco stays where he is. It's only when his mother calls him that he finally makes a decision. Draco.
Draco. Come.
Watch Draco's expression shift as soon as he hears his mother's voice. He doesn't respond to Voldemort's call, nor to his father's, but to his mother's voice, which seems to represent the only true emotional bond in his life. There's something in that call that unsettles him, but also comforts him. He joins the Death Eaters, not from loyalty to Voldemort or conviction, but out of obedience and emotional ties to his mother. At that point, it's clear Draco is driven by circumstances, not ideologies. He doesn't fight for any ideal. He yields to whoever pressures him more or gives emotional support. An iconic scene occurs just after he joins the Death Eaters. Draco doesn't stay on the battlefield. He doesn't confront his classmates or fight for the cause he's supposed to represent. When things start to fall apart, Voldemort begins to lose control, and his defeat becomes imminent. He runs away hand in hand with his mother and with his father in the foreground, looking scared. The three of them leave the battlefield. This escape shows not only Lucius's cowardice, but also the Malfoy family's overall passivity. The Malfoys don't stay to fight for Voldemort because they don't have true and genuine loyalty to him. Their ideologies are malleable, shaped by the side that is stronger, by the side that is winning, by the circumstances they were born into. While Voldemort was at his peak, they submitted to his will, but when he starts to lose, they choose to run away. Now, it's clear that when we analyze a fictional character like Draco Malfoy, we can simplify things. We can easily divide the world between the side of good and the side of evil, between right and wrong. But in real life, this dichotomy simply doesn't exist. Things aren't always clear or obvious, even if we wish they were. We are a bundle of contradictions, fears, impulses, and choices that we don't always understand. We spend our lives chasing after what we believe we are. Perhaps this search is just a lie, a myth we create for comfort, believing that there is a true self compared to this personality we carry and often reject. And even if this true self does exist, maybe it's not something we want to find, because this search comes at a high price. Freeing yourself from all judgments, all beliefs, everything that others expect from us. It requires giving up not only who we think we are, but also who we want to be. After all, being true to your essence might not be the ideal we imagine. So, I believe the question isn't just about who we really are, but who we're willing to be when everything that defines us is called into question.
The world isn't split between people, good and Death Eaters. We all have light and darkness inside us. What matters is the side we choose. That's what we really are.